Beneficial to also other beings. So without generation bodhisattva mind, so still Dharma practice is very good, but then not that really beneficial. So like for example, with the generation bodhisattva mind and without the generation bodhisattva mind. So without the generation bodhisattva mind, how to work? So when you practice Dharma, so if you can candle light, letting on, then putting into the pot. So just like beneficial to inside pot, so cannot be beneficial to outside. So with the generation bodhisattva mind, so if you can candle light, let it on, burn the top of the table. So then this candle light can very much beneficial to all this area. So you cannot hit your head and the wall. So really beneficial, no? So therefore, then many different ways also Shanti they will say, which means with the generation bodhisattva mind when we practice and with the dedication. So which is that is like when you drop 1 teaspoon water into the ocean. So ocean is last forever. So that water will be last that much. So without dedication or without generation bodhisattva mind, when we practice, so sometimes, particularly our ordinary human beings, we have anger, emotions, ignorance, attachment, desire, so on. So then this can like shortcut to all our past, present, future, all the accumulation merit. So that is that with the generation bodhisattva mind and with the dedication, and then we can practice. So then this can really be very beneficial to self, beneficial to other sentient beings as well. So then how do we can practice Dhamma? What is Dhamma? Dhamma means when we receive Dhamma teaching or when you practice. So we need like reduce some attitudes and the negative karma. So when you practice Dhamma, so if we have a raga or anger mind, when we practice Dhamma, so turning to really peaceful and very calm. So when we practice Dhamma, that is called Dhamma, changing. So without that, so even we are rich or even very poor, so if we have this kind of narrow mind or negative mind, so we cannot change it. So turn it to like more love and more and very strong characters. So purpose, what is the Dhamma and why we need to practice. So when we practice, so we need like reduce and the past and the present, future, all the negative karma report. And then love mind turn into very peaceful but very calm mind. So that's the reason mainly we need to practice the Dhamma. That is the reason called Dhamma like this. Doesn't mean if you listening Dhamma teaching or then not practice and then just like go hanging around many different areas. This cannot change anything. So great yogi Malaya saying. So which means say your parents sadhu, which means if you have good food, then you can put it somewhere. If you are hungry, if you are not eating, it's not really beneficial to your belly. So you continue with that. So when you sing water, if you are not drinking, if you are thirsty, so cannot be beneficial. No? So you continue with thirsty. So when you sing water, you need to drink. So when you receive Dhamma teaching, just that is not really enough. No? So we need to practice. Like for example, today we here given teaching is a VenerableJampal practice. So that is purification. So how to we can purify past, present, future, all the whatever we correct, all the negative karma result. So how do we can purify? So this part. So when you receive this teaching, so then we need to using this method, and then we can try to purify all our past, present, future, all the negative karma. So then, if you have water, you can then very good for your body. No? It's not so thirsty. So like this, and then more than Dhamma, so like this way. So very, very important to whatever you're receiving, any session or teaching or transformation or anything, so need practice. So without practice, then not really good, beneficial. Still beneficial, but less beneficial. So if you are sick, you can see many doctors. So when you see many doctors giving many prescriptions and medicines. So if you are not a follow doctor's advice, if you are not taking medicine, just put it in a box. So this medicine cannot heal your sickness. So when you receive Dhamma teaching from teacher, so then that is mainly Dhamma means like how to we can reduce the negative karma, how to we can practice all of those parts. 84,000 different Dhamma teachings. Essence of them, how do we can purify these 5,000, turn into 5 wisdoms. Essence of the Dhamma teachings. That is, so therefore, then whatever you learning, receiving, so very, very important to practice. With the practice, then works. So if you have sickness, doctor, you seeing doctor, you receiving medicine from doctor, if you can take it, so then you can heal your sickness. So when now we have at the moment, so we are ordinary form, because we have sick of the 5,000. We have anger, jealousy, attachment, ignorance, desire. We of the sick is samsara of suffering. So now what kind we need to take medicine? with Dharma teachings. Dharma teaching is like medicines. So if we can receive the teaching, if we can practice that and using this method, so then we can heal the poisons. So that is reason we need to practice Dharma and the listening Dharma teaching and the meditation or prostration or visualization. Many different ways we can practice. So therefore, and very, very important we can practice through that ways. So then when we practice Dharma, so depends really is like practitioners, like which level. So when we practice, so if we make so much tension and really can to learning Dharma, so then turn into like really good practitioner. So when we practice Dharma, so we have 3 different practitioners. So if we pay attention, class, and then really can to learn it, so then turn into very good practitioner. So if you are not really much paying attention to Dharma, so just hanging around and still listening Dharma teaching, so you interested in Dharma, but not really is like learning. So thirdly, just come teaching place, just stay there, then consciousness hanging around outside. So just like that, when we say teaching, like coming right ear and then out from left ear. So then cannot really get beneficial. So therefore, then very, very important too, when you listen and Dharma teaching, you can single-pointedly try to concentration with your body and your speech and your mind during this session, teaching time. So then secondly, when we practice Dharma, so what kind of Dharma practice or very successful or unsuccessful practitioners, those depend is really like foundation. So now when we practice, so with 4 ordinary foundation and the 4 extraordinary foundations. So today we're going to firstly teach and the 4 ordinary foundations. So why we call the ordinary foundations? Doesn't mean that this ordinary is just like not really much, how to say, value. Doesn't mean this, So ordinary means, so this is very, very special. So when we receive this teaching, so when we practice that way, so then this can beneficial to like build up very strong foundations. So if we build up very strong foundations, so then our practice is very successful. Without not build up strong foundation. So like for example, if when we build up building, if without strong foundations, like very muddy or landscape, not like make a very nice, and then if you can build up, this building will be not last long. So correct, and then maybe fall down or can be very dangerous. So therefore, then firstly we need very strong foundations. So then foundation is 4 ordinary foundations. So firstly, precious memory life, and secondly, impermanent, and thirdly, cause of karma result, and fourthly, samsara of suffering. So when we practice Dharma, so very, very important with strong foundations. So not only just like also Dharma. So whatever we do, we need firstly strong foundations. So even you start a business, you need firstly strong foundations. So when we practice Dharma, so firstly we need 4 ordinary strong foundations. So without strong foundations, so when whatever we try to do, we cannot be successful. So that is very, very important to having very strong foundations. So, like for example, without understanding these 4 foundations, when we practice Dharma, so many Dharma practitioners unsuccessful practice. Why? Because not enough strong foundations built up. So when we don't have strong foundations, when build up practice Dharma, so sometimes if you physically and mentally, if something happened to you, so then some students also belong to Dharma. So I'm practicing a long time, like such as like 15 years, 20 years when I practice Dharma. So why those kind of obstacles are coming to me, and why obstacles getting to me, and then unfair or why or what? Because of not understanding for ordinary conditions. So then some students also give up Dharma. That is not understanding, then give up Dharma. If whoever understanding Dharma and the four conditions, so then can be rejoiced. So we can think many different ways and many past life. So cause of karma result, then can cause of effect. And now I have a great opportunity to purify this life. So rejoice. As then much light, much easier. So without understanding that, then sometimes people also think, I practice the laws of this life. So maybe past life obstacle or negative karma coming in this life, I attack this life. But it doesn't that way. So even like that kind, if you are really good that kind of practitioner, if you attack, even obstacle came, or how to say, cause of effect to this life, that is excellent. Because that means you purify many past lifetimes negative karma result. So then need to rejoice, why need to regret and the suffering. So if we have that kind of practitioner, so that is really great. So no need to worry. So but I think it's very, very rare. So we have many lifetimes like carry very, very heavy baggage in our behind. So hundreds kilos carrying behind. So at the moment we instantly wishing to read off. It's very hard, So not easy. Like if we practice, I practice a very strong this life. So then sometimes like very difficult, and maybe I'm worried this life, my obstacle can attack my this life. So not need such these things to concentrate this life. So if you're a really good practitioner, so even Malala was saying, so whenever I'm sick, so that is a really good teacher. This is very good lessons for me, Malala was saying. If I'm not sick, I'm very good conditions, so there's not much thinking of Dharma. So whenever we sick, so many people also ordinarily say, so if I have chance to out from this like sickness, so I will good practitioner, or I can go around and see all my neighbors or my friends, my relatives, so because there's so much suffering during that time. So even now we are very healthy, if we not understanding Dharma and then hanging around, then very much we wasting precious human life because that is not understanding for ordinary conditions. So if we understanding very well for ordinary conditions, so then we cannot wasting this precious human life. So then how do we can use these four ordinary conditions and this method, and how do we can practice? Like when we practice the Dharma, so each session, so even like just a normal time, even you can use this method. So firstly, precious human life. It's very favorable and very valuable. It's not easy to get. So you can look also text and number 3. So then how do we can practice? So each session or each time you can think. So Jitin dan ni proses waktu kita ambil juga kalau kita kalau kamu soal juga kalau juga mereka itu sih mereka bergerak tu. Jitin dan izin boleh. Jitin is just like this lifetime. Like within this, like wish for feeling precious jewels. And then in our precious human lives, much valuable and much difficult to get. So why we have precious human life? Because we create in the past and present many lifetimes. We earn accumulation merit and many years. So this accumulation merit can benefit you to then reborn precious human life. So that religion is a very valuable and a very difficult to get. So just like we think, this understanding we get is about not. So which is called Monam number Ven.Sonam, which means, so we practice 6 paramatas, we always like wishing and we reborn precious human life. So why called precious human life? So if we practice with the using precious human life, so we have great chance to liberating to enlightenment. Without precious human life, even we are reborn any wrongs, like other far wrongs. So we have no capability to achieve enlightenment. That is the reason we call precious human life. Like for example, if you reborn and the world wrongs, so you are enjoy too much there. So then you have no capability to think of Dharma, and then without Dharma mind, so you cannot attain enlightenment. So if you are reborn and jealousy goes wrong, so then always they are jealousy each other, or always like have wars. So then continually cause of suffering, no way to think, also Dharma. So of course then, particularly in the 3 low wrongs, and if, like for example, if we are reborn and hair wrongs, so then hair wrong have also 18 different types hair wrongs. So if we are reborn in a hair wrong, so no chance to thank the Dharma, no chance to hear in the one word of the Dharma. So then what we can achieve enlightenment. If we are reborn and the hungry was wrong, so always hunger and the thirsty, and then continually this cause of suffering, and the no capability to also receive teaching, and no chance to practice the Dharma, so no way to also achieve enlightenment. So if we are reborn animals, so then we can see some animals are very intelligent, and we can teach like many things, but they cannot practice. If we can talk to animals, like if you can recite on Amadeva or on Manabene home, recite one time, so you will liberate to this life enlightenment. So they have no capability to understand these things. So they very difficult. So then constantly also suffering. So animals and the past animals, so we can see. And then getting their old, and then women can kill, then they can eat their meat. And see animals, how much suffering we can see also. Like lobster or many animals, like tied up and then stuck, like contain hundreds of thousands of animals together, and they're very difficult to breathing, also suffering, and no capability to practice Dharma or no capability to deal in the Dharma. So very, very difficult to practice. So that is the reason that we call precious human life. So therefore, then we need understanding precious human life, why, which ways we go. So then how do we can imagine to Western this such a very valuable and a very precious human life. So second one, which means that's not really easy to get. So many projects even circumvention merit, and then we get this. So then have like many examples. Like example, and the Kagyu they were saying, which means, like, for example, all of this earth turn into like one ocean. Under the ocean belong total. So then, top of the ocean, they have a single yoke hole. So then this yoke is also not to stay forever in the same place. So east wind taking to south wind, north wind, and the east, always moving around. So then belong to total, and this is single yoke hole, and then very, very hard to enter the single yoke hole. So maybe belong to total coming every 800 years, next outside ocean. So then this single yoke has no mind, belong total has no eye, and cannot meeting together. So very much so like that, Krishna life, so very, very difficult to get. So then, many different examples how to get this Krishna life. So then, firstly, when we practice this four order condition, so like think and the cause of result, and the secondly, we can think example that blunt total. Thirdly, like number of, So firstly, so why we get previous swimming life? So that is like in previous swimming life, also many different conditions. So some people very intelligent, and also whenever we practice, very successful and very smooth. So that means last life we learn implementation method. So if we put in knowledge into the Dharma, so that is then very good chance to practice the Dharma. So if we are not that kind of practitioner in the past life, so then in this life we try to practice the Dharma. So sometimes like get many obstacles and then many obscurations. So little better difficult to practice. So this cost of a very much result. And secondly, so then example, So earlier as I mentioned to like this blunt total and this scenario whole. So that's a very, very difficult to practice in life. So very difficult to get. Like many also great masters saying. So if you can putting 1% or sowing needle into the, like, for example, putting in a tub. So if you can couple hundred years, you can throw there and the green beans. So maybe couple hundred years, one green bean is start top of the sowing needles. So that much Pakistani life is very, very difficult to get. But if we can looks like in the, for example, like in Cyber, how many people, looks like many people, but not that everyone is not a Pakistani really life. Some people have no capability to practice Dharma. Some people have no intention to practice Dharma. Some people have also like physically problems. Some people have also mentally problems. So then cannot practice Dharma. So that means that not like which is called fully practicing life. So we need 18 different meanings. So then one of these 18 meanings, one of them missing. So then not really practicing life. So then, like counting of the number, like living in hair wrongs, all wrong beings, like which is called during Buddha's teaching, this teaching from to India. This Rua is called Ganji Rua in India. So from top of the Ganji Rua to end of the Ganji Rua, this Ganji Rua is the same number of the same, and the living and the hair wrongs beings much higher than living hair wrongs beings. So that kind number of living beings living in the hair wrongs. So whoever living in the hair wrongs, so then imagine how much suffering. So sometimes we have a little bit of headache, or sometimes a little bit of cutting our body, and a little bit of hair problems. So then we think it's so much suffering. So we cannot compare it to and the hair wrongs suffering. And this is our human sufferings. So then, if whoever born in the hungry ghost, so that so I make mistakes. Now, so whoever living in the hair wrongs, so that is living beings, like all of this earth, which what called this very, very settled dust. And the number of the then living hair beings, and the much high than like hair beings. So whoever living in the hungry ghost wrongs, so this from Ganji River beginning to end of this Ganji River, so number of much high living in the hungry ghost wrongs. So whoever reborn in the animal wrongs, that is like counter of the number when Mountain Meru, which is called, this Mountain Meru has 4 directions, so like 4 different like owner or gatekeeper. So then one of the directions, so always he's continually making barley beer. So then he make all the barley beer, this he sort of upsize, like stirring like many mountain size. So this mountain size, like barley beer, and the number of the living and animals much higher than animals living beings. So they're kind. So then we have been in the reborn animals, like uncomfortable conditions. So hunger, ignorance, and then always these problems. So then, and reborn and this like how to say, human life is very much as like very little, like top of the how to say, and our nail and the dusties. So then real precious human life and the Dharma practitioner is very much as like Dechen star. So we cannot see here Dechen star. No? So if you go very high mountain, like in Tibet area, maybe sometimes if you're lucky, you can see 1 or 2 stars. So that much is very difficult to get precious human life. So in that time, it's very difficult to get. So many of them even to be earning accumulation merit, and then we get this precious human life. So even not like useful to and not useful and the practice Dharma, so just like wasting or if we die. So that is a very sad thing, so not easy to get. Like for example, if you know somewhere they have like treaty of wish 4 billion jewels. So if you go there, you taking one suitcase. Then you go there and then you coming back to on your country, but you forgot to bring some wish 4 billion jewels protecting into your suitcase. You will bring back to your empty suitcase. So very much training like this, as a modern usually that precious human lives. So the children development. So then how do we can expect meaning for this precious human life? So we can practice Dharma very diligently. So that can only make life really meaningful. Even you very small life, even you very difficult, invisible life. So if we can practice Dharma, if we understand the Dharma, then this can everything is handled very smoothly and really very beneficial. If we understand that right, and then how to get beneficial to practice the Dharma. So then even like morning to evening to morning, you can try to practice the Dharma, and then you can develop your knowledge and then compassion, wisdom. So that way is only we can make really meaningful. Within that, even you are very rich, even you are poor, so even you poor, so much suffering. Even you rich, as a then you have so much greedy and they are mind, and then we cannot make meaningful practice. So just if you are not too hungry, even you are not like too difficult, so then we can think of that as a reasonable if we have chance to practice Dharma. So then we can practice Dharma. So then only we can really make a precious human life really meaningful. So firstly, we understanding how to get this precious human life. Then how do we can make meaningful and how do we can appreciate compared to other far low wrongs and then three low wrongs and the 2 high wrongs. So we can think and then we can compare to that. So then we understand that precious human life is a very difficult to get. So now we have precious human life if we don't make really meaningful. So that's very easy to lose. So secondly, that is impermanent. So page 4, no Drupju, changing German code. Now can you do those which means outside the universal, inside all the sentient beings. It's very much like magic. So magic comes, magic off. It's very much as like our lives, like magic geometry. So then you can sometimes compare to, you can sometimes also think. Like here, number of people, how many people have grandparents? I don't think so, not many people, no. Of course, not talk about grandparents, even grandparents. So everyone is like turning to historical, because that is also showing really clearly and permanent. But we never realize that. So we always most thinking we are living like forever. We try to prepare like living like forever, like saving money, building, buying land, all the things. So we never realize we will going to die. So because not thinking about it. So we are from others womb when we leave womb. So day by day, month by month, year by year, we are step to death, close to death. So because that is environment. So inside all sensing waves like this. So when we are reborn from mother's womb to until now, like age 18 or 20 or 40 or 50, 60, 70 plus, so very close to now. But we don't have to limit our life. But one way we can say life is very long, but one way is quite short. So therefore, that's called environment. Then, particularly outside this world, outside this, how to say, like for example, 4 seasons. So here maybe become example, no? Like only I guess 1 season. So in Tibet, so they have 4 seasons. So when spring comes, and then when turn into like winter, during the winter time, even you can go like many days down around, even you looking for one piece green grass, you cannot find. Everything turn into totally tourism and everything dies. So when spring comes, so all of this turn into tourism, everything is slowly keep temperatures coming back to warm. So then even all the insects worms freezing into the ground. So when spring comes, so slowly they are up inside breathing and then cold and outside breathing. So then coming outside. And then you can see slowly little bit of green grass. So then summertime comes, so turn into very much like Pagoda. Very beautiful, so many flowers, and they're very colorful. So then that summer also turning to environment to autumn. When autumn comes, so very beautiful flower, very colorful, everything day by day, month by month, drop all the patterns, and all the very colorful green things turn into like gray. Also that is environment outside. So inside, so then we can think living beings. So like individual life, individual age. So when you born from mother's womb, so we cannot talk, we cannot walk, we cannot eat. Mother teach everything and grow up. So now eating all and then even like closer to death. So that is also environment. So then even like you can see daily life, one day, morning sunrise, evening sunset. You can think very simple ways. So that is also really environment. No? So cannot sun rising 24 hours. Morning rise and then evening set. So that is also environment. So all the enlightened beings, like many great masters, like accordingly, like for example, Kagyu from Telo to Naro, Marpa to Mala to Gambopa, and Gambopa to all the great lineage masters. So they are coming this earth and reborn from mother's womb. But all these holy beings also to go through from environment and the time. No? So then our ordinary form is very much like here saying it's like insects, it's a very weak, very like tiny, very easy to die, very easy to sick. So those kind of body, of course we are going to reborn and then we are going to die. And in that all the kind of enlightened beings even going to do that way, of course our ordinary forms. So then we can compare to that rest. So all the enlightened beings also go to from this way. So of course our even ordinary life, we need to go to. So thanks environment very strongly. So if we can understand the environment and if we can practice that way, so then much easier to practice. So if we don't understand and the environment and the precious of life and the environment, so then we think, oh, I can enjoy this life. I'm young, I have money, I can go everywhere, I can hang around, I can do anything, I will enjoy this life. But then this life is not last forever. So, like if have a house, so we can renovation. We can out, so you can make polish and you can make again very beautiful. But our life, we cannot do renovation. Even you try to do renovation, like maybe you try to do cosmetic and the surgery, but that also not last long. Then it will not going very well, turn into like very much Michael Jackson. So then not works. So therefore, we can try to keep up inner beauty, and if we can try to like take practicing life and environment, if we can diligently practice. So then really we can make meaningful this precious life. So firstly, we have to precious life. So then secondly, that is the environment. So when secondly environment comes, so thirdly cause of the karma effect. So now and the third for reflections. So then which means so whatever we create, positive karma or negative karma, so guarantee never missing. So Buddha Sefton is saying, so if we create negative karma, so this never going to dissolve into the air, this is not going to dissolve into the water, this is not going to dissolve into the individual parents or relatives. So whatever we create negative karma, so guarantee we need to purify by all our body spirit. So whatever we create this kind of negative karma, so then negative karma can cause of effect, rebirth and the typical wrongs. So whoever reborn in the typical wrongs, so then cause of loss suffering. So which is Shanti Deva saying. Which means, like for example, or this earth or this land turning into like hot metal saucepans, and then inside many like very sharp nails, and then also coming center fire. So if you need someone walking through that way, so if you create that, like for example, if we have questions, so this is not created by other people, this is not created by other planets. So this is created by on our mind. How do we can create? So this we on create negative karma, then negative karma can cause of effect. This kind of suffering. Just like this way. Which means like if somebody set up very strong fire, so you need to go through this fire. So who set up this fire? So nobody set up that fire. Just own our mind with our body, spirit, mind. So when we correct negative karma, so then we need to feel like this kind. So therefore, then very, very important too. So even we are like rich or even really poor, so teach equally. So particularly our Asian culture, so I can little bit sometimes see my bad eye, you know. So then some people have like very wealthy or very rich family, so they have like many workers or servants. So then rich people show off like two poor people, then treat very badly, and then like turn into like not like human beings, you know, non-human beings, treat very badly. If we are practicing Buddhism, we understand the cause of karma result. So then we cannot treat it like that way, you know. So if you are rich, if we are poor, so this depends like past life karma. So if we earn income relation merit, so that reason then this life successful and the good conditions. So whoever is not really good conditions in this life, trying to serve to other people, serve. So that means past life, and then they are also not enough accumulation merit, and then this life turn into the condition that. But also we cannot cheat. Maybe there are also strong connections. Positive karmic connections, negative karmic connections. So karma is very strange and very funny ways. So therefore, we need to be very, very careful. So I can tell you one story. No? So in India, one great Mahasi is called Pagoda. So firstly, he coming from India to Tibet. So, which is when we reach in the place called Ganji. So from the Ganji, so then one lady holding the baby here, and also she's eating the fish meat and beating in the center dog. So then this great master and Pagoda is seen to pass many lifetimes. No? So when she is eating the fish meat, that is incarnation of the like her father. She's eating father meat, no? And she's holding the baby. That is also like her very nasty enemies, incarnations. And she's beating the dog. That is also like her mother's incarnations. So we don't know which way is coming. No? Even your mother, or even your father, even your brother, even you are rich, is so turned into maybe their life. So they are maybe turned into your servant. Even we treat like that, you know? We don't know. So that's the reason in Buddhism point of view. So many lifetimes we call like all mother sentiments. You know? So we never know which way karmic and the connections. Positive karmic connection and the negative karmic connections. So many different ways. So I can tell you another story. In Tibet, not like many centuries. This couple of years ago. So in Tibet I have two guys. So they are always like against to each other. So one guy is early died. When he early died, so one guy and sons married, and another lady, they have a baby, so daughter. So then, like some very high lamas realization, and then they ask, like, before this one guy, he's died, he's very nasty enemies. So this incarnation is reborn by this other guy. So karmic is a very strongly cause of effect that way. So then, like even we are rich or even we are poor, so we can try to treat equally. So very, very important because we are practicing Buddhism, understanding cause of karma result. If that way, so we can practice that, it's much easier. Otherwise, we continually also correct so much negative karma. So whoever correct the negative karma, so then very difficult to purify, correct negative negative karma? Easy, but purification is not that easy. Which means, so if we create and combination merit, so this can then cause of good result. So like rebirth, which is semi-life, and also really good conditions, and always really successful practice and a very successful life. So that cause of positive karma result. So if we create negative karma, so then even just like dharma ways, of course, so many negative things are coming. But even ordinary ways, so if we create negative karma, so if we create, so then even ordinary ways, ordinary people can say, oh, that person is not really good, no? It's not really reliable, and then people also very hard to trust because, like, always follow negative ways. So we are understanding the cause of our karma, so which is called land. Land is correct karma, and Junda is the cause of result. So we are rich or we are poor. So guarantee whatever we create negative karma or positive karma, one cause of we not never missing. So we need to go to this and need to purify that. So therefore, then very, very important to whatever we do. So think cause of karma result. So good or bad, whatever we do. So even negative thoughts comes. So I cannot do simply that way because cause of karma result is very settled and very strong. So I cannot create negative karma. Even like for example, instead of jealousy coming in your mind, so you can think, oh, I cannot jealousy because this can create negative karma. So whenever I create a negative karma, this can cause or affect this life or many lifetimes. So therefore, then I cannot jealousy. So think it that way, and then we can practice. So if we practice the Dharma, so then this can also bring many beautiful things. So if you are really good practitioner, of course we have capability. So like for example, great yogi called Mullarepa. Mullarepa is practice, the understanding also of karma result. Firstly, he's beginning his life, so he created negative karma. So then after that he regret and very diligently practice. So then he is attending enlightenment one lifetimes because he understanding cause of karma result. So we exactly have like same capability because we have nature of the mind, we have practice in life. If we can practice that way, so whatever we done negative karma, so regret and then provocation practice. If we practice that way, so we have also same chance and same capabilities to achieve enlightenment. So then cause of karma is like many people think, or karma and the cause effect is not really, it's like existence and cannot see, but actually cause of karma effect, so we can see very, very clearly. So like for example, some people very good condition, some people not very good conditions. And then like some people always sick, some people always healthy. So that is guaranteed cause of karma effect. So if you last life, you are like hurting any other sentient beings, so that means this life, your life is really turned into like a miserable situation, always sick, unvery well, no? So last life you happen to other sentient beings, not treat badly, and then this can cause a good result. So your successful life, and other people also loyal to you, other people respect you, so that is cause of good karma result. So karma we can see too, and we can see very clearly. But some people think, like when cause of karma result. Like some people do many negative things, this looks like still very successful, but that cannot successful forever. So last life they have like little bit balance. So at the moment they are using this balance and it looks very successful. So when this balance turns into zero balance, guarantee that that person also upside down because cause of karma effect. So cannot successful forever. So sometimes people misunderstand it. So whoever correct negative karma looks successful. Many people also ask me like this ways. So that is not permanent, it's impermanent. Sooner or later, when this accumulation method finish past life, so they are burning very fast. So then when this accumulation method finish, so then automatically turn into upside down. So then we can think that way and then try to not correct negative karma, try to think and cultivating and try to we can make accumulation method. So then we can day by day, month by month, year by year, so we can build up our knowledge and also purify negative karma. So now, fourthly, samsara. So samsara is suffering. So wherever we go, so it's 6 rounds. Chemarani, Keshin Tombo Yenana, Lona Nega, Tukanzo, Rana Nobata, Message, Venorabejawa, Tavi, the Rodan Tobato, Ede, Anova. Chema is which is called sadness. So why sad too? Because living in the samsara. So samsara is full of suffering. So we have many different types of suffering, which is called birth suffering. So we have already experienced. So when we are reborn from mother's womb, so we don't know anything. So worse than insects, worse than worms. Just like when we sick or when we hungry, even anything. So just like we cry and then we can't do anything. We don't know how to eat. We don't know how to talk. So mother can't listen. Mother needs to teach every day, day by day, and the feeding, look after everything. So without mother, if we put in somewhere, we will die. So worse than worms. So suffering. Birth suffering. So then already suffering. So majority people have already experienced. So just this life, not talking about past lifetimes. So eating out. So then many times sufferings. So used to be very strong. So when you get old, not very strong. Used to be very sharp mind. So when you get old, cannot remember everything. You can forget everything. Used to you walk very fast. When you get old, turn into like babies catch up bird. Turn into like very much like this. So when we get old, so we cannot simply sit very smoothly. So feel like carry hundreds of kilos and behind. So fall down. So when we young, very active and very easy to wake up, very easy to sit. But when we get old, so when we sit down and when we standing up, so very much like feeling hot from the force from the ground. That kind of suffering. So when we sick, so then, like when we are not sick, we are not compared to when we sick, you know. So when we are sick, so night time is very long, daytime is also very long, cannot eat, cannot drink, always suffering. You know? So many people, sick people say, oh, if I am wishing out from this sickness, so I will visit all my relatives, my families, and my village. That kind of suffering, you know? Always. Then confusions. So then even all these parents or relatives try on their best to like serve and medicine and teach many different ways. So still they think, so they're not trying good enough and still so much suffering. Sickness suffering. So then fourth one is death suffering. Death is not a really symbolically comfortable situation. So if if we don't understand the Dharma, so that can be very dangerous and that can be very serious also. So many people, when they are going to die, so when I visit a nursing home or hospital, people often holding in their mind, or say, please. So people say, please don't let me die. I can't do anything. I'm going to also die that way. Even Buddha Shakyamuni comes, Buddha Shakyamuni cannot show when death comes. So not much suffering. So if not enough knowledge Dharma, so when we die, so some people like fingernails putting in the chest, nearly cut through, and then teeth nearly cutting through, lips and the tongues, very hungry and very scared, then died. So that is death suffering. So whoever going to death that way, so that not really is a good science, not a very good where to go to die, because not enough Dharma practice. So if we understand the Dharma, if we are good enough practice, so then even death or even living is not really much different to other practitioners. So even going to die also very peacefully and very calm, very joyful, and also died. Like live many miracle things, message, and very wonderful and very meaningful things. So if you not understanding Dharma, and then like calling many different things, and also saying many strange things, so all the dirty things coming out, and then invisible situation, and then died. So because not understanding Dharma. So if we understand Dharma, so then even that life, and then even this life, everything so we can handle very smoothly. So that's the reason that very, very important to practice Dharma. Even we have good conditions, even we have not good conditions. So still very much is like living in the samsara. So even here saying education can go yin. So even we think we are very intelligent. So I'm very knowledgeable. And everything also we can live in samsara. So then we make mistakes. So just like temporarily, happiness, temporarily pains. So we can put so much effort and then work extremely hard and the world of that varies. So sooner or later, when this can cause of effect, so really much in the suffering. So this can turn into like a miserable situation. So if we that kind of ordinary life, how much we put in effort, if we put in Dharma, like that much effort, so we are part of the enlightenment. We will. So at the moment, unfortunately, all the sentient beings so putting effort wrongly. So ordinary life, so putting so much effort. So extraordinary life, like Dharma life, also not much. Not many people practice like 4 hours daily life. So if we can like most people working just ordinary. So like 8 hours, 10 hours, 2 hours. So if we can put that much effort into the Dharma, so we can like turn in very good practitioner. That's it. Which means, so finally only Dharma can benefit. So if we can practice Dharma very seriously, so even we are living, even we are died. So which means, so many lifetimes we are reborn, re-died. So we put in like so much effort to ordinary life. So we don't really like have a, good effort and good, meaningful life, we don't make it. Which means now I cannot believe just this ordinary words, ordinary things. So only I understand it and the Dharma, and only Dharma can pass and the present and the future. So beneficial to even I'm dying or even I'm living. So this can beneficial. So now I'm guaranteed I'm going to very seriously Dharma practice. So if we can take that awareness, so then we can lead a better easier. Otherwise, we are stuck into the samsara. So very much turn into what to say, flowers landed into the honey. Flower try to eat honey, and firstly did a bit of testing, and secondly, then flower cannot flower out from honey. So flower will be stuck into the honey, and then flower will be died into the honey. So samsara is very much that mechanism. And the many great masters saying, so samsara scene, and snakes and mice, and a very strong fire. So if we can look, jump back into the samsara. So very much that suffering of samsara. So then whenever we practice Dharma, so firstly we can take these four corrections. Firstly, precious living life, and secondly, environment, and thirdly, cause of karma effect, and fourthly, samsara. Samsara, no matter wherever we reborn, so still fully of suffering. So we can take the effect, and each session, what can't we practice, so we can practice that way, so then really get beneficial. So we don't practice these four ordinary foundations. So then very, very difficult to practice Dharma. So for example, firstly we are not understanding how to get practicing life. So we think this level must be enjoying this life and always a holiday, good life. And then next life, now I can practice very good practice. But we don't know. As next life we have chance to reborn again practicing life or not. And then even not enough practice, so secondly, then environment comes. So environment comes, then turn into cause. So how do we get? So environment comes. So even if we are rich, even if we are poor, so everything is left and behind. So just like our consciousness, then go into the Pagoda with our consciousness, positive karma and then negative karma. So thirdly, cause of karma effect. So whatever we create a karma, so then this cause of karma will come with our mind. And fourthly, then again reborn or re-die and the samsara. So very much it's our lives, putting into the glass jar and the flower. So flower is a lid off. So then flower sometimes flower up to the top of the lid. That is water rocks. Sometimes flower down in the middle. That is women rocks. Sometimes flower going down in the bottom. So that is very much glow rocks. So turning round, not going all upsides. So samsara is very much like this. So then we can take each four reflections, little back, before practice, and then we can build up slowly knowledge. Just finish four reflections. So afternoon we can teach. Wait a second. To say something?
To say literally something, you will listen to it. What kind of thing?
Thank you very much, Venerable, and all the Sangha members. So your wishing and your teachings. So of course, so this is beneficial for long life, but very, very important to teacher and the student, the teacher and the Samaya. So if you have a really good Samaya, so this can then automatically beneficial to teachers' life is longer. So if a teacher and the student are not very good and the connections, so then I don't know how long lasts. Because everything is impermanent, so maybe this can cause of effect. So therefore, then your wishing, your homage. So I like to say thank you, and then also if you can practice very diligently. So all the director masters, all the Dharma teachers, so this can automatically benefit to long life. So therefore, then whatever you receive and teaching is very, very important to practice continually. So then this can dedication to all Mother sentient beings, all this can dedication to all the enlightened beings, all the holy Dharmas, teachers, like a long life. So then automatically this can beneficial. Long life and happiness. Yeah.